So we've been on the homestead now for quite a number of months, and just been busy with so many projects, just trying to get this house sorted out, and just dealing with issues. Last winter it was quite a harsh one with all the rains, and I mean we experienced some flooding in our area, but luckily we weren't too affected. But I mean the rain just came down, and the roof's leaking, and there's plumbing issues, and so it's been quite a hectic time, if you want to put it that way. Living on the homestead now with all these other projects, but always in the back of our minds, between myself and Els, we've always just said, there's all these things that have to happen, and okay, right, we've got to build cupboards, and we've got to do this, and we've got to do that. But the thing that's been always in the back of our minds is we need to start making a garden, and specifically a vegetable garden where we can grow some food. And yes, we speak about it and we know that we've got to do it, but at least the other night we decided, okay, all right, let's just apply our minds now. Yes, we've got 100 million other projects to do on the homestead, but let's just apply our minds now and look and see what are we going to do about our vegetable garden. And many of our subscribers have actually been asking us, in the comments on our videos, and saying, when are you guys actually going to start growing some food? And we're also thinking the same thing. So in this homesteading update, I'm actually quite happy to announce that we're starting a garden. So after a lot of deliberation and thinking about it, we've decided on the area of the property where we're going to start our veggie garden. And the most practical and the most, we think the best place for our vegetable garden, our growing area to be, is basically where our compost heap is and our existing composting systems are. It just makes sense to build around that. So this is the area that we've allocated for our veggie garden. So the whole area that we've allocated to the vegetable garden is around about 8 meters, stretching down to the end of the plot behind me to the boundary fence, and that's 22 meters. So I think that's going to be quite big enough for what we want to achieve and what we want to do. So we're going to start off, and we have already started off with doing the fencing around the area, because we need to fence it off. The little piggies will definitely get into the vegetables and just do their thing. So that's where we're going to start, is we're starting with the fencing. So those of you who spend a bit of time on Pinterest, you would know that Pinterest gives one a lot of ideas and a lot of inspiration, if you want to put it that way. So we spent some time on Pinterest as well, and we've got a lot of ideas. And we thought to ourselves, well, you know what, it's a garden area that we want to use for a number of years, hopefully. We just don't want to slap it together and just put the normal fence around. We thought we'd make it a little bit prettier, than the normal just wire fencing or whatever the case might be. But there's a saying in Afrikaans that says, "Jy pluk 'n lat vir jou eie gat." Okay, so in English, what that means is, you actually go to a tree and you pick off a branch and then you smack yourself with it. Right? And I think that's sort of pretty much what we're busy doing now, because we've decided to make a lovely picket fence. So after deciding on the picket fence, and we start doing the project, and then you actually just realize how much work is actually involved in putting an 8 meter by 22 meter picket fence up. A tremendous amount of wood. And we want it to look a little bit pretty, so it's going to be a task and a half. But we've committed, so we need to see it through. So the fence itself is going to be 800 high. So we've taken some leftover half poles that we have, and we've cut them to about an 800 length, and started planting them. And we're doing about 3 meter gaps in between. But this is the long side, part of the long side, and part of the 22 meter side. So yeah, it's just going to involve a tremendous amount of wood and labor coming up. So the second part of the fence build, now that we've got all the poles in, is to put 2 cross pieces, which we're going to be using purlins or brandering, and these are 3 meter lengths. And then on that, we're going to be putting our pretty little picket fence. So in order to make the actual picket fence itself, we've just decided to use what they call pallet wood. I mean, that's the cheapest and the most accessible. And as you know, I mean, for 8 meters by 22 meters, that's going to involve a tremendous amount of wood. So the pallet wood like that just makes sense as far as a cost perspective is concerned as well. So basically we just went and bought a whole whack of these, and what we're going to be doing is just cutting them down into the 800 millimeters lengths, and then just sanding them and zhuzhing them up for the fence. All the 2.4 lengths of the pallet wood has now been cut. Thank goodness for a table saw. Oh my goodness me. But now, yeah, so they're all cut in the 800 millimeter lengths, and this is what they look like. You can see they're still pretty rough. But what we're going to do next now is actually just do the points. We're going to cut them into a point at the top, and then just give them a sanding down. And then after that, we've got to put a sealant on them called Gal Seal, because it needs to look pretty. This is Pinterest we're following here. But as you know, we've got about 200 of these 800 millimeter planks to go. So I'm going to stop filming now and get to work. So we thought we'd just cut 1 or 2 and do the sanding, and cut the point off at the end and seal it. And this is basically the raw product, and then the end product of what it's going to look like. So it actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, the color's nice, and I think it looks quite pretty. My mom and dad are here visiting us as well, so it's nice to have them here to help us. We've roped them into doing some tasks, sanding and painting the actual picket fences for us. So yeah, takes the load off of us as well. So we're at the sawmill in Napier today. We've been offered some free wood. So obviously we're going to take that. We're looking for wood to make our raised garden beds. So we've got these lovely planks that we've got access to. There's just so much wood here that, oh man, I need a day or two, I think, to just go through everything, and it's all for free. Otherwise it just goes into the chipper. So we're going to see what we can get here today and take back to the plot. So all this wood that we can see here in this pile are offcuts, and that's all going into the chipper. Can you believe it? Okay, here we go, locked and loaded. So this is just some of the planks that we got from the sawmill this morning, and I think they're going to be quite nice and usable for the raised garden beds that we're going to make. But we've got so much other work to do, just with regards to the fencing first. We're not going to look at this right now. So we decided to take the planks that we've already cut and sanded and sealed and all that, and start putting them up onto the actual fence, just to see, what it's going to look like. And as you can see, it actually looks quite nice. It doesn't look too bad. I think it's going to look rather pretty, you know, once it's all up and finished. So yeah, we're quite happy with the work that we've done so far, and I think it's going to turn out quite nicely, you know, in the end. But it's just great to document what we're doing, and just to maybe you know, maybe look back at this video, you know, in a year's time, just to see, you know, where we started with our little vegetable garden, where we're going to be growing things. So yeah, I think that's it for this update, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next video.